Hi there, Libra. Hope you guys are having a great January. If you're watching this in February, I hope it's off to a great start for you guys. The doggy. What? Brandon, what's going on? Maybe he wants to say hello. Okay, guys, sorry. So I'm getting the sense, right? I was getting this as sort of meditating on your sign before I turned the camera on. That you're sort of riding a bike, going through the motions. Okay. Going through the motions, this is the Seven of Pentacles. Speaking of monotony, routine, going with the motions, fulfilling our sense of duty, responsibility, day in and day out. Cancer got a similar reading, thematically at least, right? They kind of had a similar sort of need to fulfill duties and requirements that are expected of them. Okay. Let me let the dog out just a second, guys, okay?
What is it, Brandon? Go outside, go.
Okay. So, perhaps there is this feeling of, though, being eager for it to be done with, right? You're ready to walk right out of whatever this situation is that you feel indebted to, in a way, responsible for, that you need to just complete, right? It's like enough already kind of energy. You're riding your bike, hoping that you're going to get to that destination fast. Okay. Okay. We're going to be doing the Celtic Cross. Same layout as usual. Let's give it a last shuffle here. There's a lot of things you need to lay in order before you set this new beginning in place and before you step out. Here we go. In your deep past, recent past, current state, hopes and or advice, actually. Your future, hopes and or fears. Interesting. Okay. Final outcome. Interesting, Libra. Okay. Wow. Okay. So many signs are, I feel, experiencing a similar sort of gearing of energy, right? Sort of like the gears to the bike, shifting, and I feel that there is a sort of transformation happening with many people in terms of making a decision to change the way that things were done, the way that our path, right? There is a transformation awaiting. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. I just did the reading for Cancer. Cancer got strength. In reverse, though, with the Daughter of Cups in reverse. Okay. In different positions, too. I think those cards just flew out. But the Cancer also got the Son of Cups. And the Nine of Swords, however upright. So you have it in reverse. And Cancer got the Eight of Wands, though in reverse. You got it upright. So if there's a Cancer, or Cancer archetype, right? Or someone with a moon or ascendant or a lot of Cancer energy, right, that you feel, they could somehow be related to this reading, and it might be worthwhile to go check that video out, right? And I will also say that oftentimes, right, you can actually resonate more with your moon sign or your ascendant sign rather than simply your sun sign. So if you don't know your moon or ascendant, you can click the link below, and that will allow you to put your birth information in and find out what your moon sign is and what your ascendant sign is. You do need your birth time, though, to know that, but just a thought. All right? Okay. There's a lot of transformational energy going on, Libra. A lot. It's the turning point of the core of who you are. That's what's happening. Your whole identity is like awaiting a reinvention, okay? That's the feeling I'm getting. And it's one that requires you to have an inner resolve, an inner strength, to really summon your truth and step forward with it proudly, confidently. All right? You have a good number of major arcana speaking to significant transformational change. You have the Hanged Man, you have the High Priestess, the Devil, you have Justice, you have Strength as your theme card. So surrounding you and in your environment, okay, is the sort of impending need to make a decision, perhaps, or look at something with clarity, with stark clarity. Okay, there's a decision that needs to be made in regards to this transformational change that is awaiting, and the decision to move forward with strength and truth of character. It's one that eventually, right, seems will allow you to tap into the more creative, emotional side, an aspect of your being, right? And it seems that this reading is for the first 2 weeks about, right? No cutoff date. Energy is fluid, so. But I'm sensing that it's for the beginning of February and the mid-February period, perhaps for some of you. But I'm sensing that you will be sailing through this situation, entering into a this new path, right? That enables you to tap into your creativity more, right? It's the beginning stages, though. Okay. Yeah, you're ready. You are ready to do away with this sort of involvement. It's boring for you. You're done with it. It's monotonous, not creative. It's not stimulating or engaging. You're ready. And these pentacles are lining up, and it's just walking straight out of your spread. Okay, you are waiting to do that. and move on to the next chapter with strength. All right. What's interesting is you have sort of you have every element represented here, actually. You have 2 swords cards, you have 2 wands cards, you have 2 water cards, you have major arcana cards just anchoring your spread. Okay, you have it up top in the environment position, you have it at the base of your reading in the advice position, you have it at either end of the base of your spread. So this is a transformational moment for you, it seems, okay? There is a change of gears happening. Sorry, guys, let me close the door here. Okay. So you have, right, fire energy to some extent. You have air energy to some extent. But it seems you're ready to do away with that air energy, that overly intellectual, sort of monotonous, even form of thinking. I'm seeing it speaking very much to this card. This here is the 9 of Swords, speaking to just the over-analysis type of tendency, okay? And it's in reverse. You're ready to do away with that, okay? And it could just be in regards to this. Maybe this situation requires a lot of this sort of energy of you. And you're ready to let it go. And similarly, in your current state, you have the 6 of Swords, right? Kind of the setting down of the swords. And looking up at the looming horizon of this rainbow that awaits you. Stepping into this new phase, one that's colorful, one that imbues a sense of creativity, mystery, right? Invokes passion, and really is one that comes from the inside of you out, right? Rather than living, let's say, from the outside in some way, just tending to our obligations, doing the routine work that we don't really connect with on a super deep level, right? Strength is all about moving forward, charging forward, being very clear on what we really want to accomplish and what we want to pursue, and pursuing it, right? There's the figure 8 on the lion's forehead, speaking to the sort of sense of being guided by our intuition as we forge ahead on the new journey and in pursuit of whatever it is we are seeking out and following. So you have 2 movement cards in sort of the ending phase of the spread here. You have the Daughter of Cups sailing off, right? But slowly, it's the beginning of the cycle. And you have, again, this 7 of Pentacles leading straight up and out from your spread. So I'm getting the feeling that you're like, there's a divergence, even if it's just energetically, okay, of sort of where you are, what you're allowing yourself to get involved in, okay? Now let's get right into it, Libra. In your distant past, you have the Hanged Man in reverse. Speaking to, right, if it's upright, it's a period of stagnancy, of waiting, of knowing that you have to just roll with the punches, right? Go with the motion of things. Wait for the day to break, right? It's this bat just hanging upside down in the night hour, right? With eyes bloodshot, wide open, right? Staying up at night. Oh, when is the sun gonna come up? Kind of, feeling. But you have it upright. Okay, so I'm sensing that it's almost like an eagerness, trying to push the process forward. Okay, trying to being really ready to wake up from this previous situation and move into the light. That's coming very strongly, Libra. Okay? The interplay between night and day. Light, dark. Okay? You are ready. You've been ready. You've been ready, Libra, for this transformation and change. Okay, and in your recent past, you have the High Priestess in reverse. High Priestess speaks to the sort of strongest form of intuition and knowing that exists in the deck. Okay, it's the most intuitive card. And it's a number 2. It's a major arcana. It's speaking to the very sort of beginning stages of a journey, following our intuition with that, being solid, grounded, firm in our decision as we move forward on this new path. Okay, but you have it in reverse. So, Libra, you could be, or you could have been feeling in your recent past that you weren't able to exactly act on your intuition. You felt like maybe it wasn't the right time to really address it and pursue it, right? Strength speaks to the pursuit. But the High Priestess in reverse is like, energetically, I am ready for that space, but I'm not able to actually step into it yet. Okay? But looking forwards, right? The tiger is looking in the direction of the rest of your spread off into the future. Sort of connoting a sense of longing, right? Like hanging upside down. I know it's not the time yet, right? I know it's not the time yet, but I can't wait. I can't wait to move forward with this. And you have 2 hanging cards, right? 2 in reverse, and 1 card that's like very much speaking to being suspended in time and being dependent on time and the natural process of things, right? Inevitably, you have to experience night in order to experience day. Okay? So it's the natural progression of things that you've been sort of even intuitive with, right? Inside of you, you know this process is going to take the time that it needs to take to be accomplished, right? But just energetically, you're ready for it to move forward, okay? Now, in your position of energy that you tapped into that helped lead you to your current state, you have the Son of Cups. So it seems that you've started to dabble, okay, and embark slowly on this journey. And I'm getting the sense that it's enterprising. Okay, so it could be something entrepreneurial, it could be something creative, artistic, okay? This is like the shy artist card. That's kind of how I see it. So it's the slow foray into this more creative path. And that helps lead you to setting aside sort of your engagement and your involvement slowly, okay, slowly, in whatever this situation is that has you impending. and is kind of holding you down, tying you down. So in your advice position, you have the devil. And I usually see the devil as sort of the embodiment of both earth energy and fire energy. Typically, it stands for, well, it symbolizes the sign of Capricorn, okay? Which is an earth sign. Earth being stable, grounded, but also somewhat materialistic, possibly, in the form of the devil, right? It can be an overemphasis on our possessions, on the material side of life and what surrounds us. Okay? But this mountain goat is fire-footed. Right? And it's almost as if he's running, charging after what he wants in a way that's like, no one's going to stop me. Right? And that is kind of what the devil represents. The devil represents pursuing our innermost desires, especially if they're materialistic, right? Or associated with our sense of groundedness, what makes us grounded, even, or what makes us feel grounded, even if it's like our career, let's say, right? In such a way where we're going to pursue it until we attain it, that sort of mentality, okay? It's a relentless sort of energy, okay, and pursuit. So I'm sensing, generally the devil is kind of like being a little overly focused on what we personally want to accomplish, and being a little too focused on assets and even codependence to some degree. But in your particular case, in this spread, I'm feeling that the devil here is like saying, charge out of this situation. Okay, maintain your fire. Remember what you really want to be accomplishing, right? And charge forward, okay? In regards to what makes you grounded, in regards to your career, in regards to what you contribute to on a daily basis. And that's really charging straight into this card right here, which is your near future. Excuse me, of the Six of Wands. Which speaks to the sort of flight. Which speaks to the transformation, right? Tying it back to this Hanged Man. Being in suspension, the sort of butterfly in the cocoon, the chrysalis, right? The rebirth that's awaiting. So it seems that maintaining a sense of hope and ambition and drive towards what you want to accomplish, one that is connected to your inner fire strength, a fire card symbolizing the sign of Leo, I believe. And your passion and your, right? I see it as looking ahead in a way that's hopeful and determined, and just get you through this thing, to get you through this and this. Right? It's almost necessary, I'm feeling it's a necessary energy, that drive, the strong drive to really look forward and ahead, which will allow you to step into this transformation and rebirth. It's almost like, when you're about to, there's a vision I'm having. It's of, okay. Yes, okay. An airplane, right? About to take flight on the runway. What does it need to do? It needs to speed up and move very quickly, gain momentum, build momentum until it raises off the ground and flies into the sky. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. You need to build your momentum, and it needs to come from a place that is really connected to your deepest, innermost desires, your truth. Go with it, Libra. Push. Make that push. Make it happen. Okay, drive forward. Okay, with persistence, with intention, right? Of our authentic self. And that will help you rise. Look at these two cards. Yeah, like that. So, right, energetically, it's like it feels like you the need to charge forward and up. Allowing yourself to be reborn. It's beautiful. Libra. Cool. It's a powerful transformation, Libra. It really is. And something in your environment is going to put you under sort of the microscope, the spotlight, like to make that decision. You're going to be put under the pressure to make that sort of definitive decision, right? There's been a lot of building energy. There's been a lot of suspension, right? Waiting, even just for the natural cycle of things to move forward as they do. But it seems there's going to be this point where, with such clarity, right, you're going to have to look at the situation and decide to just move up. Okay, because this card, the Six of Wands, is flying straight up into justice, straight up into the decision, straight up into the need to and the expectation to make a decision and to look at it clearly. Like, there's no more waiting. There's no more prolonging, right? So it's a beautiful sort of standstill of energy, where all this energy is building up to this one point that's just culminating, and then out you go. Straight up into this rebirth, this transformation, this new phase and step in your journey. And strength will be needed to do that, right? It takes strength to rise from a situation, right? And to be reborn, to leave the womb, to allow that rebirth to happen, requires strength to step out, right? And it's amazing because underneath that you have the Eight of Swords, another card of suspension, the chrysalis, the rebirth like waiting to happen. I think Scorpio also got this card, perhaps, or maybe Sagittarius, but regardless, a lot of signs are getting this same theme of rebirth and of needing to, yes, wait for the natural course of things, okay, to happen in such a way that is conducive to this rebirth, but or really that allow this rebirth. But I'm sensing that you are going to the day is going to break. And you are going to shine. You're going to step forward in a magnanimous way, right? You're going to have some sort of revelation and clarity. Final moment where you're able to say, yes, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it, right? Okay, great, cool. Moving into your your hopes and or your fears. You have the Eight of Wands. We're going from a 6 to an 8. So, perhaps, yes, you are could be hoping and fearing, right? They can be one and the same. What we hoped for, we can kind of fear, and then what we fear, we can kind of hope for also. You could be sensing that inherently, right, in this new beginning and this rebirth is the necessity to have some sort of shake-up of what we knew, right, of the way we did things, of what was customary to us, right? What did we grow accustomed to, right? Shaking up the familiar sort of even dependencies. So speaking of change, right, you could be fearing the change and you could be hoping for the change, right? One and the same. And moving into the Daughter of Cups, beautiful. It's like the calm after the storm. Sailing off into this enchanting, open-minded, creative, new path that taps into our sense of inner truth, compassion, creativity. One that is intuitive, right? That we feel, right? Cups speak into emotions. We feel. So it's a journey that you feel deeply connected to. And one that speaks to you on a level that is very much in tune with your emotions, very much regarding your emotions, okay? So, Libra, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. And I will be back, hopefully within the next week or so. Yeah. Within the next week or so with your mid-February readings. So stay tuned. Feel free to subscribe. That way you'll get the notification once the video does come out. And until then, I hope you guys have a fabulous February and January. And until then, see you soon. Bye.